Hello everyone and welcome back to Wayne's World for another video on the channel. I hope I find you safe, I hope I find you well, I hope you've been enjoying the start to your summer wherever you might be. Now in today's video I'm going to be going through my starting 11 for the England team against Czech Republic, our final group stage game at Wembley. It's a huge one, we want to win the group, we had a disappointing performance against Scotland, so I feel like there needs to be a couple of changes. One position I won't change is in goal. I'm going to go for Jordan Pickford. I don't feel as though he deserves to be dropped. He's been solid throughout this tournament, if not spectacular. Distribution wise, during the Scotland game, he was great. We saw him create a chance near the end. Second half, pinged the ball long, went to Sterling. I feel like his save as well obviously kept us from going behind. Pickford deserves to stay in goal. No need to rotate there. A centre back, I'm going to go with John Stones at right centre back. I feel like he's been solid. He had the chance to put us in the lead against Scotland, which he probably should have scored. But again, similar to Pickford, distribution wise, he's always comfortable on the ball. You know what you're going to get with Stones, and I don't feel as though he's put a foot wrong during this tournament, so we keep him at centre back. Now the first change I would make is alongside him, and I would put Harry Maguire. For Harry Maguire, I think it's now or never in terms of playing. I don't think you're going to risk a half-fit centre-back in a knockout game of a major tournament, especially if there's a scenario that we play France or Portugal or Germany. You're not going to chuck Harry Maguire in there. So play him against Czech Republic, just get some minutes under his belt, see how he feels, make sure he's run off the injury and is feeling all okay. If not, Mings can come back in. But if you're not going to play him at this group stage game, and I don't feel as though it would be smart to play him during the knockouts if he's not 100% fit, which he wouldn't be without the minutes. I feel like it would have been a huge mistake taking him to this Euros when we could have had someone who is at least fit and ready to go and ready to give us 90 minutes when we need it. Now, a left back I would have started Ben Chilwell, but given the COVID situation, I'm going to stick with Luke Shaw. There wasn't anything wrong with Luke Shaw's performance. I actually think he was alright against Scotland. But I just think that Ben Chilwell could have maybe given us a little bit something going forward. I don't think that's Luke Shaw's fault. I feel like that comes from design from Southgate, which is a little bit negative. We've seen during this competition so far, our previous two games, we've not allowed our fullbacks to bomb forward. We've not really allowed ourselves to attack like we should. So Luke Shaw can stay in. Hopefully we can give him a little bit more license to attack, because he had a great season for Manchester United. He was a threat down that left-hand side, and we need that. We need that width to sort of cut back to Kane, get involved with the midfield, link up and overlap. Luke Shaw's good at that. Let's see that during this Czech Republic game. Back, Reece James. Similar to Luke Shaw, I don't think he did anything wrong during the Scotland game. I actually think he was okay. He was probably one of our better defenders, one of our better players on the night. He had a decent chance. Let's just allow him to get forward as well. He excels in the attack. He's good at link up. He can put in a very good cross, as we saw against Scotland, as we've seen all season for Chelsea. Let's just let them play football. Let's get some free flowing attacks going. As Wenger used to say, Arsenal used to play with a handbrake on at times. Let's let that handbrake go. We've got good footballers all over the pitch. Let's see that now. The first two games, we've almost secured qualification. Obviously, we want to win the group. It's time to get like a statement victory. It's time to put the rest of Europe on notice, because obviously the two games before, no one's going to be intimidated by that. No one's going to care. But they should be, given the quality of player that we've got playing for England at this tournament. It will feel like a major letdown if we go 1-0, 0-0, 1-0. All three games at home. Let's just give the fans something to cheer about. Now in the midfield, the first change I would make would be bringing in Jordan Henderson. In a similar fashion to Harry Maguire, I think if you don't play Henderson now, you're not going to play him at all. And I think with Declan Rice, we've lost a little bit in terms of passing. He's been very solid defensively, but everything is just sideways and backwards. Sideways and backwards. It's all just safe. And again, I'm not 100% confident in saying that that's Declan Rice's fault. I think a lot of that comes down to Southgate. I think a lot of that comes down to our sort of negative tactics and wanting to not lose rather than go for the win. But I think with Jordan Henderson, he can progress play a little bit better than Declan Rice. And the main thing is to get minutes under everyone's belt. I think we're going to need Jordan Henderson probably at some stage during the knockouts. Let's play him during this game. See if he can give us 45. See if he can give us 60. And let's just pass the ball forward. Let's just try to attack, because as I've said before, the two games have just been pretty boring, and it really shouldn't have been. Next to Jordan Henderson, I'm going to go for Jude Bellingham. He's just one of our most exciting players. He's got the energy to go box to box. He's a goal threat. We've seen during the Champions League run that Dortmund had, we saw his performance in the first game when he came off the bench. He's a goal threat. He likes to get forward. He's happy to track back. He does everything that you need from a modern day midfielder. Let's get him in. Let's play him. Let's give the fans at Wembley something to cheer about. I do just want to point out, obviously, I've got this in a 4-3-3. It will be more of like a 4-2-3-1 setup, I suspect, with Bellingham on that right-hand side that Calvin Phillips has been taken. Here, as like the 10, I'm going to go for Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is one of the most exciting players in the Premier League. I don't think anyone would deny that. I'm surprised he didn't start in the last game against Scotland. Let's just get these players on the ball, allow them to dribble at the Czech Republic defence. Let's take some players on and try to create some chances. Now, obviously, Mason Mount is going to be missing the game due to the COVID situation, similar to Chilwell. Let's just get Grealish on the pitch. Let's allow him to play make for us. Let's allow him to ignite our attack, because our two performances so far have just been really flat. And everything has just been sideways, stagnant, dull, bland. And again, I don't think it's the players' fault. I feel like it's Southgate's tactics. They're just incredibly negative, which I don't personally agree with. But as long as we're getting results, that's all that matters. But let's go out and make a statement. Let's go out, allow these players to play some free-flowing football, create some chances, and let's score some goals, because at some point we're going to need this man, Harry Kane, to be firing if we're going to have any chance of winning the Euros whatsoever. Now, he's been poor the first two games, don't get me wrong. And I would not mind if he was dropped. In fact, I would feel as though he deserves it. But this game has to be the one where we create for him. We've seen him drop deep. We've seen him come to link play. And he's great at that. We saw him do it at Tottenham. But we need him for England to be scoring goals in the box, finishing clinically. And we all know Harry Kane can do that. We're just not creating for him. And that's the disappointment. With players like Grealish, I'd bring in Jadon Sancho as well. Nothing against Sterling, but I feel as though he deserved to be dropped after that Scotland game. There were times where he slowed the attacks down, and I think Sancho deserves a chance to stake a claim for that left wing spot. It might even be the right wing, knowing Southgate. The other player I'd start, Marcus Rashford. He's been brought on the last two games as an outlet, someone to run, someone to counter. I feel as though on one wing, with Sancho on the other, with Grealish creating, Rashford and Kane will probably offer a bit more of a threat than Sterling and Kane. Just because of the way that they can potentially link up. Rashford's obviously more willing to run beyond than Sterling. Sterling wants the ball to feet sometimes. And it's not been a criticism of Sterling's first game performance, where obviously he won us the game, which was fantastic. And he actually played quite well. I feel as though we just need to freshen things up a little bit for this Czech Republic game. We want to win the group. I know second place might be a bit more beneficial in terms of an easy fixture, but we don't want to go into the knockouts on the back of a 0-0 draw against Scotland and a defeat or a boring draw against Czech Republic. This really should have been a group where, even if we didn't get 9 points out of 9, we looked good doing whatever we done. And we haven't looked good so far in the first two games. This is our chance to go out and make a statement. It's at Wembley again. We're going to have the fans behind us, and we saw how much of a difference the Scottish fans made when they came over to Wembley. They were loud, they got behind the team. Southgate, it's time to give the fans a reason to get behind the team. We know we've got the talent. But we just need to loosen up the tactics a little bit. Let's not be so negative. Let's go for it. Against the Czech Republic, I feel as though this would be the best 11 to create chances. And if we miss, we miss. Fair enough. That happens. But right now, we're not creating anything consistently. And that's a huge problem. Because when we get into the next stage, no matter who it is we're facing, they're probably going to know, sit back, absorb pressure. England aren't going to create anything. They're just going to pass it around. Just going to be boring, basically. And the only way we'll probably win is on penalties. And we all know about England on penalties in Euro history. Especially with Southgate involved. So we don't want that. Let's go out there, beat Czech Republic, win the group, and hopefully avoid France, hopefully avoid Portugal, hopefully avoid Germany if possible. Let's root for Hungary to be the team that we come up against somehow, some way. But that's going to be the end of the video. Let me know in the comments what you think of the 11. Let me know if you'd make any changes. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. Also, come over and follow me on Twitch. I'll be streaming some watch-alongs during the knockout stages of the Euros. Come get involved in the chat. I'll also be streaming some Football Manager content, which I'll hopefully upload onto the YouTube as well. So subscribe if you're into Football Manager. And then we'll be going through transfer stuff. My team Arsenal will hopefully be active and busy. We're always fans of the transfer rumours, so we'll be covering that and pre-season when the domestic football gets started as well. Enjoy the rest of the Euros. As I've said, I think the tournament so far has been great. There's been some quality games. Majority of them, unfortunately, apart from England's, has been entertaining. Let's hope that changes against the Czech Republic. Come on, England. Let's bring it home. Let's play some attacking football at least. Even if we don't win it, let's try. Take care, stay safe, and until the next time, peace.